Okay. It's Grady Mac, and let's jump right into Corey Holcomb on the 5150 show talking about internet comedians. So he had a pastor Luther on there, who's a pastor from Atlanta, Georgia. Don't know why, but when I hear Luther, I'm just automatically thinking about the guy from Set It Off who stole their money, Cleo and Jada Pinkett money, and was laying up in the bed with that woman. But anyway, Corey Holcomb, on his 5150 show, you talk about a lot of different topics. And him and the pastor were talking about people who actually were stealing material. The pastor was talking about how pastors steal material. Well, Corey Holcomb, shared his stories about internet comedians and how they are basically, in some form, shape, or fashion, kind of killing the improv, the comedy clubs. Because that's really how these seasoned vets, these comedians, that's really how they make their money. Especially the ones that you wouldn't consider A-list, or, like your Kevin Harts and, those like the Cat Williams. They do these big arenas and all this kind of stuff. But you have your Corey Holcomb, your Lavelle Crawfords, your Bruce, your Earthquakes, Rodman, Tony Rock, this other guy, man, from Detroit, I can't think of his name. But you have a whole list of these type of comedians that is heavy in those circuits of improv comedy clubs all over the place. And those shows be good. And so Corey Holcomb addressed this thing about how these internet comedians, kind of be taking material, most likely from the vets. Let's check this video out.
I mean, it's just a simple conversation.
No,
a simple conversation we had.
I don't like perpetrators of my craft. The comedy clubs are having problems filling up because too many consumers have gone to comedy shows where the acts were just internet sensations and they stunk up the joint because they wasn't the real deal talent. They just had popularity.
So all the internet sensations you're saying is garbage. There's not one out there that really do what they do.
There's a handful of internet comics that are worth going to see, but not many.
I think with any field,
but they're the ones who stealing other people's materials.
They do what they have to do to try to make themselves relevant. And they're way over their head because the audience expects you to do 45 minutes to an hour. And these people can't come up with 45 to an hour of riveting material to speak to the people. Now, Luther, I've been able to hide out in this part of the entertainment world for years.
Right.
I pay my bills being able to go to speak to the people at clubs or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that when I look at the calendar, they saw 2 busters that month, and now I'm here. So we're talking about the basic consumer has been jaded where they don't believe in the process no more.
But you're Corey Holcomb. They know what they're going to get kind of show with you, though.
That's why I'm able to find a way. But what I'm saying is you're messing with the culture of this game if you're being put out there
before you're ready.
Before you're ready. You're messing with the culture. You're messing with the final dollar. In fact, because there are people who go to comedy clubs saying, oh, this is a comedy club, so it should be good.
Well, it's the comedy club's fault because they look at the followers those people have and feel that they're going to fill those seats up. And it's not really their fault. It's the comedy club's fault from putting them on anyways to begin with. They should have like a look at what their trial sermon looked like.
Now, this was actually a very, very good segment in the 5150 show because they talk about a lot of topics. But this one was really good. And then Corey Holcomb ain't nothing like a person speaking from experience. He is a comedian. He be in the club, so he see the ins and out of what's really going on. As a consumer, you really don't. But, like he say, not all internet comedians, are failing at these comedy clubs where they're losing money. And then that would make these comedy clubs basically, if they want to get back into like making sure the consumers enjoy a good show, they would just have to start just booking the ones that know they're funny. And I have noticed, because I go to comedy shows, preferably I go to improvs. Reason why? The big arena shows, they are good, they're okay, but you feel like so out of touch. It's a big old coliseum, and and you got to look up on the screen. I'm not sitting in the nosebleeds now. I don't do that. But still, no matter what the fact is, it's just so large to where, me personally, I feel like the improvs give you a more close environment. No matter where you sit, you basically can see the comedian on stage. The sound system be good. You can hear the jokes loud and clear and all that kind of stuff. So I like the improvs much better than going to big arenas. But I have noticed that when I'm checking for shows, that you'll see, like some internet comedians, you'll see them have like their run. But then you'll notice that they won't come back. You won't see them coming back. And ones that are funny, you see them in rotation over and over again. Corey Holcomb, I seen him at an improv before down in Houston. No, needless to say, Corey Holcomb is funny. He do put on a good show. Gary Owen, Bruce, Lavelle Crawford, Tony Roberts, that's the guy named from Michigan. A lot of these guys are funny. It's a lot more of them. Earthquake, it's a lot more of them that are really good. And you enjoy going and seeing them over and over again. But some of these internet comedians, they are, some of them do put on a good show. You got some like DC Young Fly that are in it. I'm just naming some. DC Young Fly, Country Wayne, Just Hilarious. I want to say you got Bubba Dub. You got Desi Banks. It's a list of them. Because what happens is, they be funny on the internet creating skits, which is a good thing because they learn how to make revenue and income. But when they creating skits, they're not performing in front of an audience. They are just recording with their phone or whatever they recording with, and they're just making a video that has funny moments in it. And when they upload it to Facebook, YouTube, the IG story, TikTok, or whatever, people start to follow and they enjoy it. And some of the skits really be good. And that is kind of like the new comedy wave that a lot of these guys was able to get in. And then they started getting booked doing shows. And like Corey Holcomb say, they out of their league. They doing something that they really don't know what they're doing. Because making skits and all that stuff online with your phone is not the same as getting on stage trying to tell jokes for an hour straight on stage. It's not easy. It's not easy. Let's just be honest. Some people have said Just Hilarious shows be funny. You have seen some reviews say it's not. Country Wayne, some people say he is funny. Some people say he's not. It's just the truth. And I'm not just calling them out. I'm just saying, like, these are some of the people. You got some people who don't like DC Young Fly. But the same people who I've seen said they don't really care for DC Young Fly, they don't care for him by himself, but they love him with the 85 South show with Chico Bean, Carlos Miller, and when they do those shows together, that right there was a combination. I don't know why they stopped. I'm not saying they stopped, but it's kind of like it. They kind of like went their own way a little bit. But they had magic. What they was doing, they was going on the road and they all be on stage together. They had little moments by themselves. But like I said, Bubba Dub, here's a new one that's coming up. He make a lot of his videos and he always saying trash. He's getting popular. But the thing about it is, can these guys get on stage and really perform well as a stand-up comedian? Because even some of your A-list celebrities, even some of your well-known comedians are not good doing stand-up, but they're good in other things like movies. Kevin Hart, in my opinion, good in movies. Stand-up, scale of 1 to 10, I give him a 7. Just my honest opinion. Mike Epps, see a lot of people that say they don't like Mike Epps in stand-up, but they love Mike Epps in movies. Ricky Smiley the same way. Some people like him in movies, some people like him in stand-up. It's just different for everybody. And the thing about it is, maybe the OG comedians, not saying they haven't tried, may need to get with some of these internet comedians and they all sit down and try to figure it out. Because the internet comedians, I'm not saying they had it easy because they put in hard work to do their skits online, but then, boom, stand up, getting booking for shows fell right there in their lap. And now they in a different element that they're not used to. But y'all get in the comments, tell me what y'all think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share this video. Holla.